Well, some progress, I guess, is better than none, but I'm disappointed. Tomorrow has to be a better day. Days are getting longer, thank God, but I don't know. I started to put my trucks on this extended chassis, which I put all of the controls on for the 310, thinking it's got the plastic 3D printed smoke, it's got the gear and whatnot. Why not put it on a 3D chassis and 3D printed all-wheel pickup? And since it's an extended range, let's go with the 6 wheels. And that means, it's a lot of wheels. It took a while to build all the components out, much longer than I had hoped, but in any case, it's close. I don't have the wiring. I don't have some of the trigger devices, but I have them around in my head, but I haven't gotten them built yet. But hoping tomorrow make a lot more progress along this thing. I think this is going to be too long. It's at the right height for a drawbar mounted piece, but I think it's going to make the tender too far back. If you look at it, that's like almost 1.5 inches. I need a shorter piece, and I don't really want to cut that one down. I'll try to find one that's a shorter piece. I must have several around here, or I'll make one out of brass. I suppose I could do that. But that's the progress of the day. Building these things takes a lot of time because there's several parts that need to go into that. Threaded inserts, brass inserts. You got to cut the axles. These axles have been cut in half. You have to fit them into the insulators, and then you have to fit them onto the truck. Then you have to wire the pickups, and so it's a little time consuming for this all-wheel pickup thing. And also I'm using these black pieces, which I think are an older design because they feel a little draggy, a little tight. So I'm thinking I might have to reprint those in red. That will be a little smaller and fit better, and that'll take time to print, time to disassemble. But in any case, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow I've been told I will have the entire day. Time will tell how that works out. The other thing I wanted to share was a smaller development project I've been working on. Is a replica of the Northern chassis. Tim had told me that he had a Northern and the tender was in good shape, but the chassis had been eaten away, whatever that zinc rot or something like that. So I've 3D printed, modeled and printed this chassis. Seems to be working perfectly now as far as the, he wanted to have the original wheels with the trucks and the rivets and the whole bit, so I'm doing the best I can to accommodate that. Then it came to the notion of the steps, and I've just printed these steps that we would then put them on with epoxy. And it just seems like I got it pretty doggone close. If you can compare those two, I mean, there's mine. I have a reinforcement part in the backside. You can see it. I'll point to it right here. If I pull this away, you can see it. And that's to give me more adhesive spacing, to get more glue onto the part, and hoping to make that a little more rigid. And the same with this side, and I still have to do the back steps. They are only 2 steps, these are 3, as you can see, but I thought for 3D printed, Illinois boy in Virginia, hey, it came out pretty good. Andy has helped me with my setup, and it's coming right along, I would say. So we'll get those finished, test fitted, pictures, final approvals, and then I'll print this in black, assemble it, solder the wires, rivet the thing, He's going to put in the original reverse unit. I am not. I'm just going to send it to him to finish after I put the trucks on. Oh, and there's the short truck, the short connector that we talked about. Yeah, that's where that goes. So that's what I've been up to today, a little off and on, working on this piece, getting my tender trucks over here assembled, and not much of anything. Yesterday was a sort of a tough day. I had to test a whole lot of these boards, and I had a lot of bad ones. There's a chip that goes right there, that's a socket, and the chip that goes in there, we had some delivery from the company, bad chips, and I had to go through and find them all, take them out and replace them. So I just came up with this, nailed this thing together literally. You tie in the connector spots, and then you run the test off of this transformer. Got a voltmeter and an engine here, and I just went through 10 of them and tested them as fast as I could yesterday, get that figured out. We did have a conversation with Jim, the machinist, on the ball bearings, and I think he seems to be understanding the direction and the objective, and he has applied his own knowledge and skill and parts that he has available that are in the right scale that will fit. And he said he's going to be able to build 3 chassis and send them to me, or at least 2, with ball bearings in the axles and potentially ball bearings in the motor. So we would have a 100% roller bearing chassis and motor very soon, which I think will be real exciting. That's going to be real exciting. That's a level above, but I mean, that's where I wanted to go, not a level above where I wanted to go. It's where I wanted to go. It'll be a level above someone else, I think, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. There's no competition. It's just having fun, putting this together and trying to get it to you guys. And we did talk about building the mounts here. Got a great idea here. We're thinking we can notch this down and put a plate very similar. Thank you. Very similar to this plate that would sit over here and have a hole on either side that we would then remove these pins here, you see, and drill and tap a hole right there on that surface, so that the chassis would sit right down on top of here. You put a screw in here, screw in here, screw in here, screw in here, and you're fastened in. That's the objective. Actually, the hole's going to have to be a little more forward because it's going to be in between the wheels. But we have an idea. We'll make a plate and put the hole forward and screw that plate down, and the threaded surface will be moved forward. It'll be fine. And we want to have that done and start building engine bodies, 3D print a plain Jane, and offer that up as a template that then others can take, put on their CAD system and modify it, streamline it, add detail, whatever they want to do, knowing that it will fit and the engine would run as soon as they're finished with it. At any rate, we're making progress. It's just a little slow today, and I'm a little frustrated and tired. That's okay. We'll get there. Tomorrow's another day, they all say. All right, gang. We're having fun. Yes, we are. It's gonna be an awesome looking piece. I don't have the tender body for it. I have an idea, but I don't have anything started yet. So that'll be an in process. You'll probably see me. I'll show you images. I'll show you sketches, dimensions, and as I put it together, I'll give you updates on it. You'll see how it works. But I think it's going to be fine. It's going to be an extended range Pacific, something like the Royal Blue, but maybe a little more stylish and a little more fun. All right, with 6 wheels. Okay, that's it. I gotta run. Boss called me. Gotta go. Later.